another episode of Get a Load of This. From the Silver Creek Studios, I'm Jarod.
I am Ryan.
And this is Joe.
Big Joe.
Damn. This is
That was sultry.
This is right.
This is an hour of touching yourself. So, everybody, get your napkins. And
Wait a minute. This is weird.
That's some dark web shit.
get your napkins and maybe your neighbor's social security number. And
Jarod, just think about baseball. I know it's hard.
Baseball. Rick Ankiel.
That's what she said. Yeah, he goes to Rick Ankiel. Instantly, he goes, think about
Speaking of
baseball.
touching yourself.
Rick Ankiel. Oh, my goodness. You seen him?
He's a handsome son of a...
that is a tall glass of water, isn't he?
We're going to get back to Rick Ankiel.
Yeah, maybe if we got time.
We thought it's time for another beer review episode.
If you can hold it in,
That's
we'll
right.
get back to Rick.
I swear I didn't plan it this way. I don't mean to keep picking cheap-ass beers,
No shit.
but we're on another cheap-ass beer.
Well, considering you're buying the samples,
Yeah,
I'm not complaining. You know,
I'll step it up next time. We'll get some higher class. But this week, we're going to do PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about the rodeo again.
Well, we may end up.
PBR.
But, again, I went with this one because it's not an AB product. It's not a Miller Coors product.
Found it on the highway.
And
Yeah.
it's old. It goes retro. This is 140 years old.
I
right?
will believe you.
I beat up a
you
gang
that
of
this is
hipsters and stole
Yeah.
the cooler.
I took it
Of
off
like-
their cafe
of like
motorcycle.
2014 hipsters.
This isn't even cool for hipsters anymore?
I don't
That
think
ship's
so.
already
I'm
sailed?
thinking this ship's already sailed. But I will say this. I do believe that the taste will take me back 144 years.
Just might.
Yeah.
All right, well,
All right,
let's
so we
pop it
doing
open.
it? All right.
I already opened mine. Sorry.
Ryan jumped the gun.
Yeah, well,
this
fucking
is-
thirsty. I haven't taken a drink yet. I waited.
Yeah.
Waited for the awkward, silent
I'm
taste
gonna-
test
I'm
moment
gonna-
here.
I'm
Would
gonna
you smell
hope-
it and you got your eyes?
No, I just fucking know it's gonna taste like the sweat of an armpit from.
So this is an American lager, like a Budweiser, like a Miller High Life, or
Is this the shit
Coors
Laverne and
Banquet?
Shirley we're fucking with?
no, they were.
This
Was
is
that
from
Schlitz
Milwaukee.
or
Was it Schlitz?
I don't know. Maybe it was a fictional beer.
I think it was.
My sister would know the name of the damn brewery.
Here you go. No, this is the
We're
piss
not
from Lenny and
lesbians.
Squiggy. Yeah. Come on now, we don't go down on each other on the sofa.
That's
Here
what
comes-
Squiggy is for.
Yeah. The lock don't work on our front door. Fucking Lenny and Squiggy. We paid the rent, don't stop us. I know our friends fuck Fonzie.
All right. Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
That's a good one.
That was really good. High five on that.
Yeah, just danced it.
Oh, man.
Well, on that note,
Yeah.
let's
All
try
right,
this.
let's
this
choke
I'm
new
gonna
down
drink.
drink
this.
this fucking swill.
Choke down his pants. Swill. All right, I'm going to give it a shot.
Okay.
All right.
Joe's pounding
I'm
it
going to
over
drink
here.
the whole fucking thing.
Well, you got to get a taste.
I don't think it's that bad. I mean, you know, it's a basic.
This is the kind of beer that's used to either try
we
to
go.
get your DNA off a dead hooker or to put out a fire in a trucker's cab.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's probably a good grilling beer. You know.
Oh, I wouldn't want this burnt smelling it. Oh, fuck. All right. Oh, my. Get all that off of there. We got to go back to the
So way to
goddamn meat
fuck up
store.
a bratwurst.
Yeah. I wouldn't want this. No.
No, I don't think it's terrible. It's definitely it's got something going on. I mean,
You guys got Bud Light in your veins.
I think that there's a lot of flavor, right? If we were to drink a Budweiser, there's a lot of flavor in Budweiser
See, I don't think
too.
there's a lot of flavor in this.
No, I do. I think there's an aftertaste.
There's definitely an aftertaste. I think it's in there
Excuse
before.
me.
I think it's like a
well,
before
the
taste.
fact that my belch just smelled like a
Yeah.
fucking donkey fart.
Yeah.
I don't.
yeah, like you're a fluffer at a donkey show.
Yeah, I mean, it does have. It's kind of a skunky aftertaste,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's old beer. I think it's fresh beer. You know, But it's drinkable. Again, if I'm drunk, I'm on it. I'm not going to go.
I should be done by this time. I'd be like,
yeah.
No more Bud Light.
Here's a big problem I got with it, and Jarod, you can correct me on this, but it says right here on the can, I have a spare can for reading, and I need reading glasses. It says established in Milwaukee, 1844. Is that true?
Well, I did a little bit of research, as you can imagine.
As Jarod tends to do.
The books.
It's not entirely true.
Yeah.
So there was
Roman Empire.
So was like Pabst then, or
no? So Pabst was later, but they basically bought into a brewery that was established in 1844.
Okay.
And so the actual PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon beer, was named that much later, like 50 years later, 1893.
So I have a lot of problems with this packaging. So
the red, white, and blue.
No, the red one, no problem with that. It's the fact that they're fucking milking this blue ribbon. It says on the back they won it like 12 times.
They actually won blue ribbons.
When's the last time they?
1893.
Okay, well, fuck. I mean, are you going to ride that point? Blockbuster was the biggest movie rental company in 1988. But
hey,
they won something as recently as 2015.
What?
The worst beer in America?
Best large brewer something.
I'd like to know who gave that blue ribbon because
it was like
themselves.
The Pabst cleaning crew.
This is
award.
This is like everybody gets a ribbon kind of beer.
Right. This is
like the showed up and you canned it. So hey, you're gonna get one too.
Yeah,
that's terrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that they're milking this whole blue ribbon thing for 100 and something years.
No, it's hip to drink PBR.
Well, and then on the bottom of the can, this is going to sound familiar to a lot of St. Louisans. It says this is the original in bold Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. I can't fucking read that. Choicest products. Anyway, you get the point. It sounds a lot like Budweiser's label, and I don't know which one had it on their can first. They say they were established in 1844, which leads you to believe that they did this first.
That it's older
I'm
than
calling
Budweiser.
bullshit that Budweiser had that on.
I can piss in a can and call it blue ribbon. I've got the time.
Right. Nah, so I think it's a bunch of poser bullshit.
There's something to it. They joined this company, I think, through marriage, and that was around in 1844. So it's probably a recipe that was around. At
There's
that
another
point,
company that was joined in marriage, the Heinz company. They still put out a good product.
You're not a fan of this, huh?
No. Well, Anheuser-Busch was a result of marriage too. Eberhard Anheuser married one of the Bushes or something like that, and that's how that whole fucking thing that whole shit show got started. So it seems like that's what all these Germans.
Oh yeah, there's tons of that.
All these Germans were just
immigrate over here,
each other,
and then they start these little brewers, and they hook up. And
no, I'm not going to completely shit on Pabst. I mean, they have to be doing something right. They've been around for 150 years, and
be doing something.
Well, I will say so. In apparently the height of their sales was in 1977. They had 18 million barrels a year at that point. Now compare that to recently in 2016, Budweiser was 13 million. So they were 18 million in the 70s. Now Budweiser was much bigger than that. In 2006, they were like 23 million.
Right. Well,
it's hard to find,
but you also have to think about
choices
too, and what the market was, what the beer market was in 1977.
Well, yeah.
There wasn't.
But still, this isn't just a little.
I get it.
But Schlitz was big at some point too, and Schlitz is crap.
Right, Falstaff was huge in Belleville, and
in Belleville, we're big. It's like Offenburg. We're big in Belleville.
Well, you're saying they were in Belleville, like Stag. Yeah. Stag's in Belleville.
Your buddy
was.
Is a Schlitz fan. He said he couldn't find Schlitz.
Right.
Who the fuck searches for Schlitz?
He searches for everything.
It's like, that's like
he's a connoisseur.
He's a cutter. I cut myself. I like Schlitz. I only wear black.
So
that sounds like he does have a
Robert Smith is really on to something.
If he's chasing down Schlitz and PBR, it's like there's.
Well, I drank mine, so I'm off. Right? I don't need it. Yeah, I did my. I did my part.
You're welcome. Yeah, you can.
I can go get. Now I can go get a beer.
Get your Bud Light again. Yep.
Let me go get a beer now.
Well, one of the things I thought we should talk about a little bit is the perception that I guess PBR is a hipster beer now, right? So there's all these young 20-somethings that think they're hip and cool, And they wear their jeans rolled at the bottom and their leathery, thin-soled boots and their flannel shirts. And
you talking about Pony Boy?
And they're riding their cafe motorcycles and they're getting their, Starbucks and on their...
Yeah, maybe. I don't... I see.
And apparently it's big in that community.
I don't think this is as hip as it was. I mean...
I don't know.
It had its 15 minutes. Yeah, no, but that was years ago. And we all know, hell, even when we were hip, this shit don't last. No one stays. I mean...
But it's because...
fuck, your Keystones are hip now.
It's because guys like us are complaining about PBR that these guys... think it's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Good. Well, see, stay away from my shit.
Wasn't the whole idea of hipsters is that they were into shit before it was cool?
No.
What the fuck are they doing jumping on a PBR bandwagon 50 years later?
Hipsters are thinking retro shit is cool again, right? So they're going back to the classic.
That seems like they sold out on the whole hipster movement. Yeah. The hipster movement
they
used
would never
to be...
admit that, but that's totally what it is.
Let's dance that for a second. Let me spin you a yarn for a hipster then. So, so vintage clothes.
Yeah, sure.
PBR.
Okay.
And retro vehicle. I mean, this sounds like a fucking Hoosier if you ask me.
And an unkept beard.
Yeah. So he sounds like a derelict if you ask me.
It's
so you drive a fall piece of shit truck. You're drinking 6-cent beer and you're buying your clothes from a toilet.
But that's the thing. They're all wealthy enough to have their iPads.
They're
and
fucking
their
not.
Yeah. You gotta spend money to be a hipster. It's not about being broke and having.
See, I would respect much more like the gypsies movement. Like when we were in New Orleans, we went through, the French Quarter area or whatever. There was a section where there was a lot of people that were clearly homeless and like a tent city type of thing. And we asked the Uber driver, I'm like, wow, that's quite a lot. And he goes, yeah, the problem is that about 50% of them are here because of circumstance, and the other 50% are here by choice. Yeah. And those are the gypsies. And I, they don't have money, but they've chosen this life of minimalism, if you will, probably beyond minimalism. How much lower can you go? Right. It's like, I would respect that. But if you're completely fake and you come from suburbia and your mom and dad drive matching BMWs and you decide, I'm not going to, I'm not going to adhere to that. I'm going to go out and buy my shit from a toilet and I'm going to drink 8-cent beer.
But if you are that way and then you end up living in squalor with others who come from nothing other than squalor, your ass going to get robbed, softy. Right. And I can tell you right now, if none of you are listening, but might know somebody that is listening. If you come across some hipster doofus who is living in your tent city but has money, rob him.
Yeah.
Rob
Take
him.
his checkbook.
Beat his ass.
He's got a P.O. box somewhere where he's getting his trust fund money from.
And that's how he's like, yeah, I just got enough money, so I can drink my PBR.
And if you want help picking him out, he's got the nicest tent.
He's got the nicest fucking tent.
He's probably got a fan.
He's got a fan. Yeah, exactly. He's got a fucking fan. You'll know. Wakes up earlier than everybody else. Right. Like he's got some fucking false sense
somehow
of just like life
got a
is still
Starbucks
good.
Cup that's full of coffee. He's like, wait a minute, something's not adding up. Everybody else is poor, and you're walking around with an $8 coffee, asshole.
Beat him with a bat you stole from another homeless motherfucker, and just take it.
Yeah,
and it's him. Yeah. Doesn't shit in a bucket like everyone else
does.
Right?
Yeah. Somehow he finds a public restroom that's open
I'm
for him.
I'm not cool with that. That's not cool. Gypsies, I guess are all right in a sense. I don't know, but a gypsy peddles wares.
Yeah,
meaning
there's a purpose.
There's a purpose. I'm not just in a tent town underneath a fucking highway because I choose that.
Yeah, that seems asinine, doesn't it?
I'm upset. I'm already upset. That just makes me mad. Anybody that chooses homelessness over not being homeless because of it being a hip thing to do.
It's too mainstream to be.
Oh my God!
To live in a house.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe it's the anti-capitalist. Maybe it's the people that they just don't want to buy into, and they've gone full bore against capitalism.
There's plenty of room in Siberia.
Yeah, I guess.
Take your ass out there. You can act. You just fucking wild out in that shit.
Well, this is it's taken a bit of a turn. That we were going to go into another topic, but
I can't believe that Pabst Blue Ribbon has got me thinking about socialism.
It does amazing things for people. Apparently, look what it's done to us. But it's about the
Did cure my cough though.
The me generation. It's not. They're not what they're called. They're called millennials.
Mm-hmm.
But that it's all about. It's all about feeling good, man. It's all about me. It's all about but it's not about feeling good. It's not about it's a very selfish tone that exists today.
Well, hell yeah, that's the world. That's the world we live in because we created that. Us? Well, not so much me.
I don't think we did create it. I think it's just
people ahead of us have created these little my first dose into fuck you kids was Occupy Wall Street. And I might be wrong, and correct me if I am, but my 100,000 foot look at that is I went to college, I graduated, where's my house and my car keys?
Right. Mm-hmm. Pissed off at the world because they didn't get what was promised to them by the
by the institution or by their parents or whatever. Right. And to be honest, it's not a fallen thing. You have to work for everything you get till you fucking die, and that's it. And so when they walked across that stage and got their diploma, they thought when they went down the other steps, they got the keys to their nice house and their BMW.
And their unicorn to ride there.
Right. And that comes with the bachelor, right? No, motherfucker, it don't. You know what comes with the bachelor? Nothing.
Right. That's
yeah, exactly.
There's so many examples of it's about the one I was talking about earlier. We were gonna talk about and
we're not even on our topic.
And we may still
Rick
talk about it.
Supposed to come up in this too.
Somehow or another we're gonna get there.
Other than Jared's pants, Rick Ankiel is supposed to come up.
We were gonna talk about
good-looking guy, all right?
Cell phone etiquette and and that whole realm, but it kind of ties into this. It's all about me attitude where people just don't give a shit. Mm-hmm. And so my example that I was talking about off the air was I was walking through the office today, and there was a young lady who was in the middle of the security turnstile on her phone, not paying attention to anybody around her, and didn't realize there's people waiting to go, and she was blocking it. Mm-hmm. And it's because a fucking light went off or it vibrated. Right. She said, oh my God, I got to see who liked my fucking Instagram post. Right. And that's just one example of me being a crotchety old man, and also of
look at the brown eye on that guy.
This generation being so focused on what makes them happy as opposed to what's good for the fucking society.
But see, I don't think that that's necessarily generational. Like you can go people
it's
our
societal.
Age. So you can go people our age. You can go people older than us. You can go 20 years either way, and you're still going to get the same asshole on their phone in your way.
Yeah, it's not just millennials. It's everybody nowadays that thinks that. Well, another example I have, not to monopolize this. I know I tend to talk too much, but but my son's heading off to college, and we received a message from another parent that was looking for transportation
need a ride
for a guinea pig. This student's emotional
guinea pig,
an actual guinea pig, an emotional support guinea pig. And so that just spun me off down. Well, they tried. They were going to try to fly it down there.
First class was booked.
Right. But the airline, whatever airline, wouldn't allow them to take a fucking guinea pig. Well, yeah, it's a goddamn guinea pig. You can't. No.
See, I say to that shit, sell them a seat.
Well, maybe. I don't know what all the circumstances of it were, but this mother, who's I'm sure a loving mother, she wants her baby to have her emotional support guinea pig at college, and she's just trying to find a way down there. So talked to my son about it, and he had a very profound statement. I
have one too.
He said maybe that guy or gal should try to find an emotional support human, like AKA friend, and then not have to worry about the fucking guinea pig.
Do Do you think maybe the guinea pig has probably been in that kid's ass at one point?
Yeah, maybe.
Like clawing at it. He's like, I gotta take my guinea pig.
Well, there's another method of transportation.
Yeah, yeah. Back in the day, I knew a kid. I knew a guy. Yeah.
Oh shit, Jarod dropping a gem.
Yeah, just put it up. Just keister that old thing. I had a friend of mine that had an emotional support vacuum cleaner then at one point. So. I had an emotional support bowling glove.
But my point is that these not all obviously, but there's a lot of kids, there's a lot of humans, not just kids. There's a lot of Americans that need this coddling, that need this. The whole emotional support animal movement it's a fucking joke.
Well,
now if you're a blind person,
Noah's Ark.
Yeah, if you're a blind person or if you have seizures, then you have a highly trained animal that's there to help you and support you. And if you have a seizure, they're there to help save your life.
And I'm all
that's
for
fine.
that.
But if you just get weepy whenever you leave Mittens at home, fuck off. Then fucking stay home. If you can't leave the house,
then you don't get to enjoy the beach.
And here's another point. And I'm fucking fired up about this, but
look at him go.
So
I have something I was going to say, but I'm just going to keep it.
So, we all have dogs. I own 2. You own 2, Joe. Yeah. You own 1. Are these dogs not emotional support animals? Why the fuck do we have them if they're not emotional support animals? Obviously, they make me happy. Well, that's why I own them. That's why I pay for them. That's why I pick up their dog shit. That's why I take them to the vet and make sure that they're fucking healthy. All animals are emotional support animals.
I just don't have enough shit in my backyard, and I thought, boy, I really need more poop back here.
More poop, yeah. I got a poop shortage.
Yeah, I'm running out of shit back here, babe. We didn't get a dog.
So by that logic, I should be able to take my 2 animals with me wherever I want to go.
I want to break from them assholes. I mean, I love my dogs, don't get me wrong, but they're assholes. They're jerks.
Well, we talked about this the other night. It's part of the problem is these people that make this claim that they have this emotional need.
It's a false
claim. But the other problem on the flip side is the accommodating nature of society now. We have to accommodate everyone.
Yep. Because nobody can be turned down. A ribbon Pabst Blue.
Right.
And we all need to win. Hey, everyone, come on over. We're winning over here.
If you're going to accommodate anyone and everyone, then anyone and everyone's going to come out of the woodwork with their special need.
And now you got a fucking airplane full of dogs and peacocks and turkeys and all kinds of weird shit and pigs and fucking penguins.
Yeah.
And furthermore, if you bring your emotional support cat onto a plane, okay, you're that one person that wants to bring your emotional support
but
Siamese
I'm allergic
cat.
to cats.
Yeah. Exactly. And I'm allergic to cats. Now, who's more important here?
The guy who paid the ticket?
12 people that are going to have an anaphylactic shock because you got your fucking emotional support cat? Or you, because you might get a little sad because fucking Mittens isn't with you. Right. Fuck you. Yeah. Leave your fucking cat at home.
Yeah, I agree. But I was going to say that...
I like this topic.
I was going to... That's not even our topic, though.
I know.
It was how Rick Ankiel changes the way Jarod feels. And
I get all tingly.
So then we were talking about cell phones and how people abuse them, and
I'm burning.
It's terrible.
We got a topic shortage, and I'm burning 3 of them in one fucking shot.
Now, Ryan, you're gonna have to take a break. Okay,
I'm good. Yeah.
You had your 15 minutes. So,
I just want to say, I'm gonna interrupt you right now.
I figured.
So right now, Ryan is screwing the cap onto his Ozark Trail koozie.
Yeah.
Which is a pain in the ass. You got to take it off to get the old bottle out. You got to put that in. Mine slides right in there.
That's how I feel about that.
Nice and fresh.
Just like Rick.
It works. It keeps it cold. Slides right in there. Right.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. You're right. But I paid.
That's why I went with this one.
$6 for this one.
$6.
This is a couple bucks more.
Wow.
Yeah.
You must be rich.
Yeah.
No.
I'm living the dream here.
But it works, right?
We
got icy cold beverages.
Well, I tend to drink fast enough that I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I don't have that problem.
Like 3-to-1 ratio over here to me. So.
Anyway, Joe had a topic. Joe had a point. I don't even. You had a point. Shit. See, we derailed him, and look what happened.
Yeah, but we talked koozies.
We broke him.
Yeah,
we broke Joe.
I know what I was saying. Shut the fuck up. Now, if you interrupt me again, we're gonna fucking fight. So shut up. I was gonna say. We were going to talk about cell phone etiquette, and I was going to say that my etiquette to that is I don't use my phone in any aspect when I'm involving myself with money. and everyone should feel the same way. And I know that was vague for people. So if you have...
Yeah, what do you mean?
So I'm going all the way from buying a soda in a vending machine all the way to doing my banking.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm dealing with my money, I don't interrupt who I'm with. I don't interrupt myself. And I do all my transactions.
You focus on the transaction.
On the transaction.
Yeah.
So when I go to the grocery store...
That's just good fiscal responsibility.
It is. My money don't come easy. So,
right.
So I go to the grocery store and I'm buying $35 worth of stuff because I go to the grocery store every day because that's just the life I live now.
That's how you roll. Yeah.
Right. And so I'll be on the phone at the grocery store while I'm picking up green beans and things like that because I need to see what my wife and my daughter need.
I'm usually saying, honey,
what do we need?
Where are the green beans? They moved them again.
Yeah.
Point is, I agree. So then, but when I'm in line, phone's off.
Right.
Even if it rings,
you're not answering.
And my ringtone is Big Pimpin' from Jay-Z's. I let it go.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what if that call is your wife or your daughter saying, "Hey, don't forget."
Forgot.
Tough.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I'm in line.
If
I'm not getting out
anywhere
of line.
near the line, it's too late.
Too late.
Yep.
Come up here. You both got cars. So, and there's plenty of room. Yeah, it's not like they're falling in the door.
Yeah.
And then I have taken calls. Now, I'm not completely privy to it. I have taken calls in the line, or I've been on a call that I've deemed more important than even my money. And when I've done that, I've gotten off my phone and I've apologized to the checker.
Right. Yeah.
And I apologize to the person behind me because I feel as if I went slower than I would have.
Right. So not
That's
only
weird.
not only are you trying to count accurately and not fuck up with money, you're being considerate of the person behind you.
And
that's and honestly, that's the crux of it. I think is that it's consideration for other people.
Right.
So I'll give you a little story. There's a gas station by my office, and I used to stop in there regularly, and I'd get a Rockstar, I'd get something or whatever. And there was a individual that worked behind the counter, gas station, or whatever you want to call her, and every time I go in there, on the phone.
Oh no!
On the phone.
The employee?
The employee.
Jeez, come on.
And so I let it go for a long time, and I kept going there because it was convenient. It's right on the way to the highway. And I'd let it go, and then one day I was just in a really shitty mood.
Like tonight.
Yeah, I was a little fired up. And I'm standing in line, and she's talking to whoever she's talking to and having a full-on conversation. She's like, "You're not going to fucking believe it. Da, 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 da."
Oh, no, you're not going to believe this.
And so,
wait to tell this story, bitch.
And so she looks at me, doesn't say, "Can I help you?" She looks at me like giving me the eyes like, basically saying, "Can I help you?" with her eyes. And I was like, "You done with that conversation?" Because
nice.
I think you need to wait on me. You need to focus on this conversation.
I need undivided attention.
And she go, hold on, and she puts the fucking phone down. And I told her, we finished the transaction. I think I got a can of chew or something like that. We finished the transaction, and she was pissed at me, and I was pissed at her. And at that point, I swore off going to that gas station. I've
for you.
I've since turned a corner, and that was probably 6 or 8 months that I didn't even go there.
Yeah.
I was like, there's plenty of places I can stop on the way home.
I would rather get off in the middle of traffic than deal with that shit.
Yeah. So I went back.
But I'm that way.
But
I'm an asshole.
The service has gone up dramatically, and I've never had anything close to that problem since then.
Hey, so she's not there, I take it?
No, haven't seen her again.
Well, yeah, you know why? She's not there. You know what she figured out? I just lay at home, and I just get a check sent to me. And I never even have to get off this free cell phone.
Right. Yeah, so that's one of the, but that's like those falling down moments, those Michael Douglas movie. Those are the moments where it's like, I swear to God, I'm gonna pull a gun on someone. That's the line between.
Sorry, sir. We stopped there breakfast at 10:30.
Yeah.
Oh God.
No, I mean, but that's the line between sanity and insanity, right? Sanity is that I swallow it all up. I don't crawl across the counter and kill the person, and I just move on. I go find another gas station.
Yeah, right.
Insanity is what rattles through my brain. I'm like, I'm coming over.
The insanity the insanity of you making her put her phone down and her being upset is is the trigger that should have made her become a better employee.
Right. Yeah.
Not only that, but that trickles into just being a better person.
Right.
I'm telling you, this ain't shit I do when I'm at work, which I would do that at work too. If I was on my phone, well, I've been on my phone with my wife, and
the boss comes up or anybody coming up. I gotta go.
Yep. And that's it. I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. And and she knows, and she does it to me.
Yeah.
I applaud the fact that she does it to me because you're at work.
Yeah. That's your number one priority whenever you're at work is to work.
At that point, when the fucking bell rings and I can slide down the brontosaurus, fucking right. Then that's my time. Then I don't have to. Then if he walks up to me, I can go tell him to go eat shit because I'm not on your time anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on my time.
My dad's retired now, but when he was working, he had a similar deal. It was the mailroom person that walks around with the cart and delivers the mail to everybody's all the mail stops, And this person was always, and they had to push a cart, this makes it challenging. So they're pushing a cart, and the dude was on his phone all the time. And he ran into my dad
shit. See, it wasn't challenging because he was only doing 2 things instead of 3.
So he fucking physically ran into my dad with the cart one day, and my dad lost his shit. He's like, seriously? That couldn't have fucking waited? You almost ran me over with that shit. And
in that guy's defense, he probably didn't see your dad.
Yeah, that's true. He's a small man. But,
so let me ask you
I
this.
love you, Tom.
So where you work, everybody has their phones, right? You don't have to.
Everybody can bring a phone in. Yep.
I know you generally don't have your phone out because you're hands on doing whatever. But
I have it. But I have it on my box, and that's what she said. And I can hear it.
Yeah.
Even I can hear it over a lot of things. So if I get a text, I can hear it, or if I hear it ringing, I can walk back to it.
So you can't even take your phone into your office.
So we're not allowed to have our phones at all.
That's up at sea level.
Yeah, right.
Once you go underground, you can't have it. But
doesn't matter.
Yeah, so
you're not getting any signal down there anyway. It's 8-foot concrete walls and
a lot of metal. Do you still wrap in tinfoil?
They have their ways. Let me tell you, no. But so it's not an issue for me at all. But where I used to work several years ago, everybody's got their phone at their desk and everybody's on it every couple minutes. You're in the middle of doing whatever you're doing. Oh, my phone buzzed. Let me check that real quick.
Right.
And this was 6 or 7 years ago, so it's got to be way worse now.
Sure.
So do you deal with that at work? Just people getting on their phone at their desk all the time and not
worse
doing
than
anything?
that? And I'll give you a good story here. Almost a career-limiting move that I made in one of it was a leadership meeting. So it was all the muckety mucks and somehow I got invited, and I'm in this meeting.
Straight Jim Carrey that shit, liar.
So I'm in this meeting and
tramp.
I've had better.
It was like a bi-weekly, or no, it was every other week, so twice a month meeting. And I go into this meeting, and everybody would, you're supposed to be attentive. You're in a fucking meeting, right? It's about the business. You're trying to make money. You're trying to keep this ship afloat, and every 30 seconds, someone was picking up their phone. And so one day,
the minnow would be lost.
I decided I would leave my phone in my desk.
Yeah,
because I'm gonna set the example.
Focus in on this shit show.
So I started leaving my phone in my desk, and I did that for a couple meetings, and then someone wasn't paying attention because they were looking at their phone. And I brought it up in the leadership meeting. I was like, I read an article about corporate meetings that you should probably leave your phone at your desk whenever you're in these meetings.
Ryan's a dick.
Yeah. Well, and the guy that I was talking to was basically number 2, and he's a friend of mine, and I love him. There was no love lost, and he knows that I was right, and so he was kind of like, dude, what are you calling me out like that for? But yeah, you're right. You're right, and everybody else does it, and he was appreciative for me kind of pointing out. You know what? He started leaving his phone at his desk.
Good.
And if you're going to be in a meeting, your focus should be on that meeting. Your focus should not be on what's buzzing on the desk in front of you.
But what if he would have been like, dude, sorry, but your wife was just sending me nudies, so.
Right. Well, and everybody's I think that's what most people, and especially women with children, they're like, well, what if something happens to my baby? And it's like, well, pretend like it's 1985.
Don't worry, the fucking help dog will take care of it.
Right. Well, but I mean, if it was
McGruff, the crime dog.
if it was 1985, and something happens to if something happened to me in 1985, bad, like life threatening. My mom's not going to find out until she, gets back to her desk, or my dad's not going to find out.
The clown in the sewer will take care of it.
Right. But there's other measures that can be taken in order to solve that problem. But everybody's so worried about I got to be in touch with the world at all times. It's like, no, you'll be okay. You'll be okay.
The world sucks. Why be in touch with it? It's fucking terrible.
My internet was out on Friday at my house for almost the whole day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
my bride was pissed.
Yeah, so I was working from home. Your wife was working from home. Her and I were in contact. We making sure it wasn't just us. Well, my youngest son was the only other one at home with me. The other two were out doing whatever the hell they were doing,
finding Wi-Fi somewhere.
So I had to use
there's a vein of Wi-Fi over by the McDonald's.
So I had to use Oliver's phone as a hotspot to connect to my work, which was slower than hell, but it got the job done. It kept me connected. I could send email, receive email. And I was getting calls through my cell phone. But if I'm getting calls through my cell phone, then the hotspot doesn't work. It's something weird with Sprint. Right. So that poor child, for about 7 hours, he didn't have internet in the house. He didn't have his phone to rely on. He had no Fortnite. And he's like, what am I supposed to do? He just kept walking in and staring at me.
What'd you do about the seizures?
Yeah. So I took...
I'd have got Monopoly out. Man, just learn it.
Well, but yeah, I couldn't... He had no one to play with. So I took him in and we have an antenna on the roof, and it's hooked up to two or three of the TVs. And I turned on the TV and I was like, here, you got about 14 channels to pick from because of luckily for 2.1 and 2.2 and all that shit.
So then you don't even have a DVD player anywhere.
No, I do. He could have gone downstairs and got a DVD out and watched that as well.
What's this?
Yeah, he didn't. He chose not to do that. So I ended up turning on...
Like Austin Powers trying to get it to work and shit.
So I turned on the TV and I'm saying, here, man, just flip through channels, find something you like. And I leave him alone.
Like news?
I walk back in. 20 minutes later, he's watching Bloodsport.
Nice. 1988.
And I'm like,
found it.
Holy shit, that's Bloodsport. He goes, this is amazing. This is great.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Jean-Claude Van
Damme. I'm just going to leave you alone, man, because you're becoming a man right now.
Right. There it is.
The internet going out was the best thing that happened to that kid.
Sometimes it is, man.
Yep.
Kids learn how to play whenever it's all gone.
That's what everybody should have a 1985 day. You guys did that.
Oh yeah. We've had a couple of those unplugged days. It sort of sucks for a little while, but then you get over it and you find something to do.
Yeah, I would be fine with that. And I think my daughter would be fine with that too. The only thing that would suck is if we were doing something and I wanted music.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, you got to get out the CDs, and if you got any anymore,
I have a CD. It's in my CD player in my Cutlass. Yeah, and it's the Chronic album.
Right.
So how many times are we going? I can't be faded. Never on the motherfucking streets.
So you don't have any other CDs other than that one?
I don't know. I probably could find some, but
my wife and I purged a lot, and we culled the stack. And but we still have a very significant collection of CDs. So if push were to come to shove, I could play.
I guess I could just put on a radio. I mean,
well, yeah, you could turn on the radio. Yeah, that's another thing the kids don't get is like there's people on the air 24 hours a day on multiple frequencies, up and down the dial, town to town. Up and down the dial.
I'm living on the air in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think we already sang that song one time on this.
Cincinnati, WKRP.
So, yeah, they don't even realize it because they're so locked into Pandora, Spotify, whatever, Amazon, or whatever they choose to listen to. It's like, yeah, there's a whole world out there. Oh, that was the thing. He's watching Bloodsport. He's like, yeah, this is great, but these commercials are so long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, man, you don't know.
Right.
It's like, growing up, I had 5 channels and a commercial every 7 minutes, you know? There was no avoiding
it. Me, Ryan.
You want to...
I'm gonna get a PBR.
Sure. PBR.
Fuck you guys and your Bud Light.
And it's sponsored by PBR today?
Yep. I pray for your colon.
No shit. I pray for your bloodstream. Your endocrine system is going to be
Yeah,
fucked
this
up.
is yeah. This
You're
is
probably
gonna
not even going to hit puberty now.
gonna revert.
Yeah.
Also,
all your pubic hair is going back.
we're gonna come back next week. He's gonna have no facial hair.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Just got braided.
You guys ready to podcast now? It's gonna be awesome.
Fucking PBR.
Oh shit!
Leave
Okay,
that to the bull riders.
One last thing about PBR.
All right.
Let's hear it. What'd you
So
jot
we were
down?
talking about the hipsters and they got all their money, right? And it's all fake, right?
Right.
It's not
so-
real. Yes.
PBR, I just bought a 12-pack because they didn't have a 6-pack. So we're going to be drinking this for a little while.
Oh Jesus!
You will be.
I will be drinking.
I'll take a couple off your
So,
hands probably.
$8.49 for a 12-pack.
That's a deal.
$8.50. So
That's how much
that
they
was
gave
less
you
than Bush.
to take that off their hands. That's not
they
a bad
gave me
deal.
this much to get rid of it.
Walk into a gas station, you get a 12-pack of PBR and $8.
Yeah. and an I'm sorry. And they even set the phone down. Like,
We wish you the
sorry.
best.
Yeah.
And we talked about last week Miller High Life, and I didn't remember how much it was. That was $8.99.
Wow.
So it's right around that same price range, $8.49, $8.99. But so apparently PBR is big in China.
Really?
So is smoking.
Pabst Brewing Company has their own Chinese
So is SARS.
Yeah, right.
bottling company
Yeah.
over there. How much do you think a bottle of PBR is in China?
A bottle.
What are we talking?
A
Yen
12
or
a
U.S.
12
dollars?
U.S.
A
dollars.
12-ounce bottle
Yep.
of PBR.
$3.74.
That's fucking disgusting.
One bottle of PBR, 12-ounce bottle in China, is $44.
What the fuck?
And they pay it.
What?
I don't know.
Well, then
Well,
I know
and
what
how
I'm
are they-
opening.
how are they-
I'm going to get me a goddamn food truck of PBR and ride around town. And I'm going to sell it for $42.
Just go to the Chinatown. Go to.
Oh, fuck, I sell it for $30.
How are they running our economy? How do they
I don't
own
know.
most of America if they're dumb enough to pay $44 for a bottle of PBR?
Dude, I'm telling you, they still just smoke. Like their children
right.
smoke.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It's funny to me now, like things like that. And you people should quit smoking if you smoke. If you're a person, quit smoking.
Yeah.
It takes lives. But man, they just do. They
Right.
it's like 1950 over there. Like the Marlboro Man would be a
Right.
Herald
Well,
person.
is that off-putting? Like when you're watching an old TV show, or you know, so I
No, I look back and think nostalgia, like people smoking just freely.
yeah,
Like they'll be like in a room somewhere and everyone's
And
smoking,
everybody's smoking,
or
yeah.
an airplane,
right.
or a
Like watching
restaurant.
Mad Men. Everybody's constantly
Yeah,
smoking.
everyone's constantly
Are you
smoking.
watching an old episode of Johnny Carson? They're
Right, and
sitting
there's
there,
smoke- yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
smoke,
Johnny's
like an
sitting there
ashtray.
smoking a cigarette, and
It's just.
I mean, he had a
times-
lighter on his desk that everybody used, and it was someone famously broke the lighter. Yeah,
But,
or maybe it was a cigarette box he broke. Anyway, doesn't matter.
They should just.
He was Don Rickles.
That's just something that should just not be a part of our world anymore.
Right. We should be smart enough.
Yeah.
Now,
I
in
mean-
fairness,
I mean,
I'm being hypocritical because I have a vice. I do have a
well,
tobacco habit.
We all have vices. I agree. I mean, I'm not going to sit up here in my pearly gates and tell you that
Yeah.
I'm free of sin. Don't get me wrong, but that
Yeah. All the evidence is there. Yeah. But it is hard. Let me also say that
Yeah, sure.
that I used to smoke cigarettes. I
But
now I
it's-
chew tobacco.
yeah,
I
but
have the
it's-
pouches, and it's my kids are after me like, dude, you need to stop that stuff. And they're right. They're 150% right, 1,000% right. But it's hard. It's not.
and I'm sure you're right.
Nicotine is one of the most addictive.
Maybe I shouldn't be up here doing that.
Well,
You know,
no, I
people,
mean you're right, and you
try.
should. You
try, people.
Yeah,
try.
absolutely.
Do
It's
what you
not
can.
impossible. People have
It's
quit.
not impossible,
You know,
but you should. And,
Yeah.
and I'm not. I don't say that judgmentally or anything.
Right.
I'm just
So
give
where-
it a
give it
whirl.
a shot.
where
Give it
I,
a whirl.
where I work is it's a very old building, and they've renovated it, a lot all over. We're actually getting ready to build a whole new building, but
all underground then too.
yeah, you won't even see it. So
It's a huge building.
it's going to be a little league
check
field.
out this big field. Yeah. But
Yeah. Would you like a Pepsi?
Yeah, just don't stand on the mound whenever World War III starts happening. That's where the rockets launch
what
from.
movie is that? I'm trying to think of what movie that
That's
is.
Spies Like Us in the
Spies
drive-in
Like Us,
theater.
yeah. Go order a Pepsi. Yeah.
so there used to be spots above people's desks on the ceiling, and the ceilings are all, tall.
That were yellowed?
Ceiling. Yep, yellow and brown stains above them because they would sit at their desks smoking.
Smoke constantly,
And their chairs would have stains on the chairs from the smoke.
My first job,
the whole place was littered with smoke stains.
In the financial services world, there was it wasn't rampant across the building, but not long before I got there, it was. Everybody could smoke at their desk. But when I started working there was 2 or 3 different rooms where you could smoke, and they installed like the smoke eater things that you used to see in taverns and stuff like that. It didn't work, and you walked in there, you walked back out smelling like an ashtray, and it blows my mind that was the 90s. That was like 95, ish, and that was commonplace. That was not abnormal at all. It was more abnormal to have a completely non-smoking facility, to have and it wasn't that long ago.
And that's what I'm saying. The Chinese are really, they're like 1950s, and they have it's like tar. What do you mean?
Yeah, right.
But, again.
Well, they can't understand what the Surgeon General warning says on the side.
You can't read it. It's in English. But I'll say this. I'm not trying to be a high horse or anything, because I have plenty of vices. But if you could. Give it a shot, chew some gum.
Right. Yeah, my kids give me crap. They're like, you quit once. I'm like, yeah, you're right, I did. And it sucked, and I hated it. And,
I almost buried one of these
I was a year without nicotine, and then I fell off the wagon or whatever. And they're like, well, you did it once. Why not do it again?
Why don't you take like nicotine gum and then just put it in your ass? Well, because
that's what Brockmeyer
it's
did.
Very vascular. It's very vascular down there.
Yeah.
And you'd take like a Nicoderm patch and jam it up your ass.
Did you watch that Brockmeyer episode?
No, I haven't. I haven't. That's crazy that I brought up. Yeah, now I got to do it.
Jim Brockmeyer.
Nah, Jim Brockmeyer. You know what? I watched the first 4, and then I just, I started missing them, and then I was watching them on demand.
You got to get back on the horse there, brother.
I know.
It's a great show. Anyway,
we'll wrap this one up.
That was
a pretty interesting talk.
Yeah, usually I lead into this part of the podcast.
Oh, wait, no, hell no, we're not. Fellas, we're not done.
We can leave Rick Ankiel till next time.
Are you kidding me? Okay, well then, maybe I'll do some research.
Yeah.
Do you know
we
Rick?
We're going to talk about Rick Ankiel.
Do you know how many times?
We're out of time.
Oh,
yeah.
Do you know how many times Jarod and Rick Ankiel went on camping trips since 1999?
I will say my wife was a big Rick Ankiel fan.
Whose wife wasn't?
Are you saying that Jarod might be the reason for Rick Ankiel's yips in the was it 03?
Yeah, they broke up, and that's
I
why
was
he
in the
became
second row, right behind home plate.
Hold up a sign. I'll always love you,
every
Rick.
Time we made eye contact,
he's holding the tissue.
He threw one to the backstop.
It's a damn shame.
Anyway, so yeah, usually I say something like, "If you have an opinion on this," but I don't care. We've already made our opinions on this stuff. But if you had a topic, or if you want to tell us,
have an opinion, dude, fucking let us know.
Yeah,
cuss me out. Yeah. I would love to hear it.
I've said some pretty ignorant shit.
Yeah, you got mad. I told you people you should quit smoking for no reason. Who am I?
But let us know. Tell us about what you're feeling, what you're thinking right now.
How should they let us know?
Open your hearts to us.
How can they get a hold of us?
Load this podcast at gmail.com. Funny you should ask that, Jarod. Load this podcast at gmail.com or send us a message. Just check us out on the social media sites.
Keep listening, guys.
Comment
on
YouTube.
This podcast.
Comment on Twitter. Comment on Instagram.
We're looking for it everywhere.
Tell your friend. Both of you guys can hate us. Or
this includes anybody that might be in the Champaign-Urbana area that might be sending emails directly to one of the hosts of this.
She's never going to live that down.
So you should just let us know.
You call out Ryan, you're going to hear about it on the podcast.
Yeah, you should just let us know about it through the normal channels that we advertise on the air. Don't act like you're special and you've got some direct line to the producer of Get a Load of This. Send us a message through the proper channels is all we're asking.
Call in live. We're live.
Call in live, right? Anyway.
Well, as usual,
fuck the Cubs.
Fuck the Cubs.
Until next time.
We need to work on getting that in unison.
That's what we need to do. Good. Like the fucking Rockettes. Who are we? I thought we had a fan with the hipsters. We had that in unison. Y'all got one unison, and it wasn't fuck the Cubs.
Until next time, I'm Jarod.
I am Ryan.
This is Joe.
And get a load of this.
my bride can see past the fact that, I'm a shaved Bigfoot, and she can see that, he's all right, and he loves me, and he's a real good dad.
If it wasn't for a woman's
the grass stays
discerning opinions, basically being able to see past the physical, we'd all be fucked, right? But men we're simple. We're fucking animals. We'd say, whoa,
we all could be replaced with a wagon.
Yeah, pretty much. You're right. Well,
actually, a wagon would be better because a wagon wouldn't piss everywhere in the bathroom.
Right. A wagon and a turkey baster basically is all they need to get rid of us.
Well, that's if they wanted to produce, but
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ready?
I guess.
That's how
we're
we'll
ready.
pretend Ryan hadn't already opened his beer.
Yeah.
Well, he's got another one open.
Yeah.
It's like
this is for reference.
I was gonna say this is like at my house, my house too, but like at my family's. And I have relatives that come over and, we're all soda drinkers. They'll come over and they'll crack a soda, take a sip, set it down, walk off.
Yeah,
and then they're all over the house.
Drives me fucking
nuts. And, you think it drives you can only imagine my father.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this. Look at that. I mean, he
14 half-drank sodas.
Yeah, you can't drink them because you don't know what kind of lips have been on them.
Right. No, my nieces. If I know one of them listens regularly. You know who you are, Mo. Yeah, you
drink the whole 12 ounce.
Now she started drinking liquor because she's old enough now. She's 25 or something, 24, 20, whatever, however old she is. And so now it's like, you finish those drinks, But whenever she was younger and she was drinking sodas and stuff,
suck the ice up through a red straw.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, come on, you walk around the house, you pick up all these half-drank sodas. It's bad. Bad news.
Shame.
Wasteful. Unappreciative asses.
Yeah. It all costs the same if I pour it down the sink or if you drink it.
Right.
All right.
Sorry,
let's
do
dance
this.
this.